I have in my hand a Triax TD110 satellite dish. Basically it's a 110cm satellite dish from Triax. We've decided to add this product onto a range simply because Triax is a well-known brand name, it's trusted, and the general design and build quality on it is extremely good. So we have a fully assembled dish here in front of us. And what we're going to do is we're just going to give a demonstration of how it would come to you if you purchase it, and then just a few of the features of the particular dish. So if you bought it direct, it's simply all the componentry would come in a single cardboard box here. We have the skin of the dish, which you can see here, and then we have the user manual, which just gives an overview of the dish, some of the assembly instructions, and it's in English and has graphics inside it, so it's quite a good finish on it. In relation to the product itself, so you can see the main event here is the dish itself. So it's a charcoal colour, it comes with the Triax symbol on it, and there's a total of 6 screws here, which is actually holding on the elevation and dish bracket on the back, which we'll cover in a little while. We have the arm that feeds out here. This holds the dish at a certain distance out, and when we're assembling that, it's quite smooth in terms of it just slides directly into the feature, or into the dish bracket on the back, and clips in quite well. And once again, for the L&B holder here, there's a modular type format on it. So the standard setting on this, as with all universal dishes, is for a 40mm L&B, but it actually comes with another add-on insert which you can remove if you wish, and it's for a smaller, about a 20cm or 20mm neck, and it can be used with some unusual L&Bs. I think actually the L&B that they use for the SairSat, for instance, uses a smaller neck here. And with this, we'll say you can just remove that by clipping it out, pulling it out, and then when it's snapped into position, you just put in an L&B, such as this one. We'll say this is a single, but it can also be used with single, twin, quad, or indeed octo. And what I do is you just hold the L&B at the set distance away for picking up the signal. So the arm itself is aluminium, and the big advantage of that, of course, is that it minimises any chance of rust or corrosion. So I'm going to rotate the dish around now. Just quickly have a look at the back of the dish. So the first thing to note here is the 4 bolts, which are matching up to what I showed in the front here, 3 either side, and that's holding on the dish bracket here. And on the dish bracket here, I'll just show, on these rails here, we have an elevation bracket. And what it's basically doing is the adjustment there is going to control the angle at which the dish is pointing. And we'll actually see a marker along here where they're actually showing degrees, so you can actually angle the dish to point exactly towards the satellite we're interested in. And finally then, when we come along here, now when we get it to the angle we want, what we do is we'd use just a spanner here or a socket, and we just tighten in these bolts here, and it'll just lock the dish in at the particular degree of elevation that we need it at. And then in terms of, we're going to mount this obviously on quite a heavy duty pole or bracket, simply because it's a very, very heavy dish, and it'll need to be well supported. So normally you'll be using on an 1.5 inch or maybe a 2-inch bracket here mounted on the wall. And what we're doing here is we simply we drop it in initially at a certain loose setting. We're able to rotate it till we get the degree angle, and then we just use these wing nuts here to tighten in and lock it quite tightly into position. So the overall assembly of it is quite straightforward. What I was saying earlier about when we're assembling the arm here, what we do is it just slots in here. So normally when you'd be doing something like this assembly, you'd assemble the back part here with the arm, you'd push it in onto the dish, and then slot it, put the bolts in as well. So you know, the overall assembly time on this, if you had any type of experience in it, probably only in the region of 5 or 6 minutes. So it sits quite nicely in the overall range of satellite dishes we have. We've small dishes, the most common probably would be the 16, the 80cm dishes we sell, but we work right the way up to larger dishes. And when we get into the very large dishes we have, like the 120 or 125cm dish, what we're normally doing is we're using perforated dishes because it can help avoid problems with moving wind and things like that. We've added on the Triax here simply because there was demand in the market for it, and we came to an arrangement there where we're able to offer this, which is a really high quality dish with a brand name at a very competitive price. If you're buying the dish from us, getting it delivered out, we actually have a special dish box just for these ones here, and we'll ship like that. So that's it anyway, an overview of the TD110 satellite dish from Triax, available on freetv.ie.